the Reserve Bank made it easier for infrastructure companies to get money from banks. Those that have their projects already under construction, already commencing commercial operations, can now go back to the banks and tell them to refinance perhaps their 8 or 10-year loan or 5-year loan into a 20-year loan or a 15-year loan. That would, of course, give them a little bit of space in terms of repayment. However, projects that are under construction will not be eligible for this easier refinancing norms. To discuss the implications, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, Managing Director, SBI is with us. The ED of Bank of Baroda, Mr. Ranjan Dhawan, is with us, as is Madhu Terdal of the Group CFO at GMR Infra. He joins us in our studio. Good morning to all of you, gentlemen. First up, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, how good is this? Are you really going to seize this opportunity and refinance a lot of projects?
I don't think we have to seize an opportunity. There is no end date. There is a facility given to refinance large projects, any project above 500 crores exposure to the banking system. Yes, it will give a lot of relief to companies which are finding it difficult to service their loan from their accruals. And we will be able to term out those repayments for a longer period of time. And it will make the life much easier for all these companies and for all of us, especially those companies which are either in the SMA1, SMA2 or close to becoming one of these two.
Okay, so what's for you?
There's no need to seize an opportunity because there's no end date.
No, what I mean is this is useful from a banker's point of view only for the SMA1. Just to explain, SMA1 are those category of loans where the money has 1 minute, sir, where the money has not been paid for 9
for all accounts.
Okay, no, I agree. I just wanted to explain SMA since it's an abbreviation, not very familiar. Those who have not paid their interest for the first 30 days and it has become a 31 or a 32 day, those loans are categorized as SMA. Those who have not paid for 60 days become SMA2. And of course, if you don't pay for 90 days, you become an NPA. But Mr. Pradeep Kumar, if it's a healthy loan that is getting paid back, what is for you in it to extend it? You're only increasing your exposure and your risk, isn't it? Would you do it?
No. See, I think one is the life of the project. We are all aware that infrastructure project is a very long life. So earlier we were constrained by the fact that because we didn't have this refinance mechanism and we didn't have long-term liabilities, we were restricting the entire tenor of the loan to about 15 years. And consequently, if you see the gross, the servicing capability would be just about 1.2 or 1.25, and in a bad year, they would really find it difficult. This will enable us to smoothen the repayment period over a longer period of time, give the company some cushion and some excess cash available for any capex they may require, or maintenance capex, or operation O&M capex that may be required in the life of the project.
Okay, fair enough. Let's get Mr. Ranjan Dhawan, the Executive Director at Bank of Baroda, into this conversation as well. Mr. Dhawan, good morning. If you can tell us what is the exact exposure that Bank of Baroda has to the infrastructure and the steel sector, and with these norms getting eased, will the risk of NPLs go down?
I would assume so. Bank of Baroda has a fair amount of exposure in both infrastructure and steel. And I would assume that this would ease the burden on the projects. Essentially, what has happened is, for infrastructure projects, let us say those who have a life of 30 years, because of asset liability mismatches in our book, we were normally financing them for 10 to 15 years. Now, that if we can extend the refinancing period over a longer period of time, obviously the risk of their becoming NPAs on our books reduces. And that makes intuitive sense also. Normally in the West, such projects are financed through bond issues. In our country, of course, the bond market is not very vibrant, so willy-nilly the financial institutions have to finance these projects. What essentially the Reserve Bank has done is, they are saying that, look, if the project has already been executed and DCCO has occurred, say you can fix a repayment period for 5 to 7 years and show a bullet repayment after 7 years. And after 7 years, whatever that bullet repayment is, that can be refinanced either by yourself or by a group of lenders, or you can go to the bond market. So this would be a more realistic scenario for projects which have a long economic life.
Will you take a bullet repayment option, Mr. Dhawan? Are you not extending your risk that the bullet repayment may not come? At least if it is a yearly repayment, you're sure that much money has come back.
You are right to that extent, but what is otherwise the option? If a project has an economic life, let's say of 30 years or even of 25 years, and we need to fix, the Reserve Bank guidelines say you can, fix repayment over 85% of the economic life of the project. So, which essentially means for a 20-year project, you can have a 17-year repayment period. Now, if we finance them for 7 years, we willy-nilly have to fix a bullet repayment on the 7th year. However, if we expect that the loan remains standard on our books, and also all is going well, then I think refinancing would not be a problem. However, there would be, I would assume, risk attached to this, and we would have to, going forward, we would have to see how this plays out.
Okay. Let's get Mr. Tedal as well into the conversation. Mr. Tedal, how much of a positive could it be for companies like yours? Also, the RBI has allowed the refinancing of existing loans either by the same lender, by new lenders, or a combination of both. How much of a positive could that be, you think?
No, indeed, it will be a real sort of an oxygen to the entire sector which has been struggling for survival. In my opinion, in fact, I am encouraged by what Mr. Dhawan was telling. The success of this depends upon how flexible the banks are. I take Lata's that risk is always there. There is absolutely no problem. Banks have assessed the risk, the promoters have assessed. What is happening is all these days, only the problems of the units which have already gone sick, they are being addressed. But today, this will enable which are quite healthy. Companies like us which are really quite good, we do not want to get into any stress situation. This really gives us a big help. But as Mr. Dhawan was telling, we also want to appeal to the commercial banks, which are the good firms, which are the good promoters, and which have got the best corporate governance practices, so that we are not going to misutilize the facility that is given. We should be encouraged completely and be flexible in terms of giving a longer moratorium, fix the bullet repayments, and also because NPV is protected, you can reduce the upfront rates to the best possible extent. I know commercial banks, it will be a P&L issue for them, but try to be as considerate as possible so that the burden from the developers, infrastructure or steel sector, whatever it is there, it is taken off in the initial stages. So the overall the NPV of the loan is still protected by the banks. But what we need is, because all these projects are viable, these are not that prima facie not viable projects, otherwise we would not have started in the first place at all. Because of the non-availability of the land, because of the non-availability of raw material, so these things are there. So if you give that breathing space, we will not only do the project sell, we will contribute to the country, and also we will see that the repayment to the banking sector is done and their NPAs overall get reduced.
Okay, would there also be an advantage for projects that are not yet under construction? Because usually it is the same promoter group where maybe 5 projects are already already giving you commercial returns, and 2 or 3 projects which are under construction and therefore not eligible for this. Since you have less stress or less repayments to make, smaller installments in your projects which are commercially operating, you will be better placed to complete the projects which don't get this kind of help?
Absolutely. In fact, our wish list should have been, this should be extended even on the construction.
No, that was
also.
the wish list.
But that's okay. Whatever Reserve Bank has taken a wisdom, we welcome it, whatever extent has been given. What do you say? For example, there were repayments which we were not in a position to meet. We used to borrow elsewhere and fund these projects. Today that will stop. So that money which I would have otherwise borrowed, and I would use it for the equity for the projects under construction, I can fund some of the losses which by way of that. And I can also take out some of the extra finance which will give us some sort of a much needed succor for the other things. So I think we should really, it is a very welcome step. Reserve Bank has really come and helped the sector. Of course, as I told you, I have got the 2 of the biggest banks in front of me, so I can only appeal to you that they have to be a little bit
But I'll have to play devil's advocate with them. Mr. Pradeep Kumar, when you're extending an 8-year loan into an 18-year loan, you are taking a longer term risk with those groups. And as Mr. Tedal is saying, that whatever little help they get, they will try to use that space, that breathing space, to get their under construction projects going. You're actually increasing your risk to sometimes risky groups. Therefore, will you price it in? When you refinance it, will it be at a higher cost?
It is very difficult to give an answer to this question. We refinance at a higher cost. I'll have to see it project-wise. depends on the cash flows of the project, the risk that is inherent in the project. Because, of course, DCCO has been completed, the inherent risk of construction is not there in all these projects. So I think to a large extent risk has been mitigated. Yes, the refinance risk will always continue in all these projects, but this is the way the world over projects are financed. Projects are financed in this manner the world over. So that is this refinancing risk will always be there. But if the exposure is to a good group which has multiple projects, I'm sure this, and if the promoter or the company is paying the installments as per schedule, I don't think there is any great risk of refinancing. Yes, I'm taking a risk for a longer period, maybe for a longer period if the refinance doesn't happen. If the refinance happens, the risk is only for a shorter period, maybe for a shorter period. Maybe my current exposure may be for 12 to 15 years. It may come down to 5 to 7 years. And if the company is able to refinance it from a new set of bankers or go to the bond market after some time, my risk will come down substantially.
Yeah.
Okay.
Can I?
Sure, sir.
See, indeed, the risk is much less because today 30-year bond financing, 20-year bond funds are prevailing across the world. It is not something new. Just because by extending the repayment tenure, projects will get risky. It is not. Indeed, contrarily, it is otherwise. When you artificially fix up for a project which is of a larger requirement, it is not correct to fix a lower repayment. Indeed, we have done in projects in Turkey and Singapore, initial interest cost will be less. As the projects achieves maturity and stability, the interest rate will go up.
Okay.
So it is not correct.
Just want to get one final comment in from Mr. Dhawan. Mr. Dhawan, do you think the NPA situation has peaked now?
I think there is still stress in the system. There are very welcome measures being taken on in the files, but our feedback from our customers is that they are still in a period of stress. I think it has, I would not give a categorical answer to this. Probably going ahead 3-4 months, probably we would be in a better position. But as of today, our customers are still sort of indicating distress.
Yeah, but this 3-4 months time that you are getting, Mr. Pradeep Kumar, your SMA1, SMA2 loans, some of the bigger ones can be rescued. To that extent, do you think NPLs have troughed or no?
No, see, the risk of some of these accounts turning NPA was there. To a great extent, it is reduced if I'm able to refinance. So I'll have to, of course, this is a case by case. It is not a uniform approach to all the accounts. I have to go case by case. Yes, there was a probability of, say, of some accounts turning into NPAs. That probability will come down substantially for the infrastructure and the core sector accounts.
All right, we'll leave it at that, sir. Mr. Pradeep Kumar, Mr. Dhawan and Madhu, thank you very much for joining us in this conversation. And it does look like it's a happy set of bankers as well as infra developers.
One last comment, if you don't mind. See, again, more number of questions are on the NPAs. What I am saying that companies like us, which have really not got into the situation, this is a very big level. Companies like us, we are going to get much benefit out of the whole thing.
Point taken. This is for the healthier ones.